Good morning. It's John. For this video, I'm this is actually my first video that I'm gonna make a couple. Usually I play Immaculate Grid, but I had a recommendation from one of the commenters, Eddie Sasson, I think I'm saying that right. Wanted to see me play a Sporcle game. I haven't played Sporcle in a while. I have played. And I used to, it was, pre-Immaculate Grid. It was something I would do on occasion just to see how many 30-30 players I could remember or whatever. But haven't played in a while. So I'm gonna share screen, and what I gather here, let's see, I have to actually open up I guess I have it on my X account here, is what's in a name. Eddie Sassoon, I think actually. Um so let's open that up. And yeah, looks like it's just most home runs by last name or surname. So like Williams, which I think will be on here somewhere. Okay, it's every surname that has accumulated more than 500 home runs, and there's 73 of them, which is a pretty significant number in the annals of baseball. Um, Timer is 20 minutes. I don't think I'm going to go all 20 minutes. If it goes more than a few minutes without me being able to come up with one, I'll probably just call it there and give up. But um goes all the way back to 500. So anyone with over 500 home runs will work on here. So that's an easy way to just start accumulating. But like, you know, these numbers, I think very common names will, but I'm spending a lot of time. I should really put myself on the clock. Um, Anyway, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try to play this one. Last names with the most home runs. Because it just goes all the way down to 500 or 509. I guess aught probably won't work because I don't think there's multiple aughts, but maybe I'm wrong. Actually, let's just try it. They're not gonna penalize you like Immaculate Grid does and make you lose right away. So I guess there was an Ed Ott who had 33 home runs, so they really did go all the way down. All right, so I'm just going to knock out all the 500 home run players because I think that'll hit a good chunk of the grid. So number one is Bonds, which will also include his dad. So there's that, Barry and Bobby. Um, Henry Aaron did have a brother, Tommy, but I think he only had a handful of home runs. 768, 755 plus 13. All right, that'll work. Um, so now we're down to Ruth, who I think is alone. Yep. Um, And Rodriguez is going to have a significant number. I mean, I guess we'll go ahead and knock out Pujols so we don't forget. Um, but then let's say Albert had 703, but they have 709 here, so maybe there was maybe some like a handful of pitchers. Is it like Albert and others? Who knows? Rodriguez, I think it'll be in here somewhere because there's several players named Rodriguez. Um, so we got I guess your top, they're giving you at least the top few. So Aurelio and Henry are the other two. Um, so from there, I guess we'll go Mays. We get May. We get Lee, Dave, and Carlos May combining for 690. That's a fun one. That's a fun little nuance. Willie Mays, 660, and then some, I guess Carl Mays probably had some of the other eight. They're not listing everyone. Let's see. Sosa, yep. Edmundo Sosa taking 16. Tommy, just Jim. Griffey is going to be, I think Ken Griffey Sr. probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 or so home runs. Yep, 152. I was really close on that. Um, so we've hit, I think, everyone with over 600. So now we're down to Robinson, which will include Frank Robinson, Jackie Robinson, Brooks Robinson. I think Brooks and Jackie probably combined for about 350 career home runs. Was it? There's I'm sure there's others. I'm trying to think if those are actually the top three. Eddie Robinson actually more than Jackie. So Brooks had 268, Eddie had 172. I think Jackie Robinson probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of, he played 10 years. He probably had just a little over 100, I think, is probably what Jackie Robinson came out to. McGuire. Yep. Let's see. Jackson is going to be a big one, right? A lot of people named Jackson. Reggie, Bo, and Travis are your top three there. Uh, Harmon Killebrew is going to be alone. Killebrew had more than Reggie. Um, yeah, he had 10 more. Palmero, that's another one. Orlando Palmero was a player, so that'll be, oh, probably this territory, if I were to guess. Orlando Palmero had 12 home runs. Okay, that was actually even less than I thought. Um, let's see, we'll go ahead and knock out. There's bound to be some other Ortizes. Jose Ortiz being the most prominent with 14. Um, looks like they're probably only just counting people if they had 10 or more. That's kind of what I'm gathering here. If they have double digits, they'll show them. They're counting everybody, but I think they're showing double digits for the names. Because, like, obviously here, Sammy Sosa had 609 and Mundo Sosa had 16. And then there was 7 miscellaneous Sosa home runs. All right, so let's see. We left off with Ortiz. We'll go ahead and get Schmidt, Bob Schmidt with 39 home runs. I guess we can get Mantle, I think is one of the next ones. Ramirez is going to have it because you got Hanley, you got Manny, and Aramis. Yep. I should realize that was going to be one of the higher ones. Um, go ahead and get the 2 Frank Thomases. So that's going to be in the, at least in the, I think it'll be, Thomas will probably get into this range. It's fairly, oh, it's up here. Gorman Thomas. How could I forget Gorman Thomas? Yeah. So you have the 2 Franks. I love mentioning Frank Thomas the first in my videos because he works for so many National League teams. And then Gorman Thomas, very beloved Milwaukee Brewer, I believe led all of baseball in home runs from 1978 to 1982, that 5-year stretch, and had 2 home run titles. 45 home runs was the Milwaukee Brewers record for about, I think until, well, it was tied by Richie Sexson and then broken by Prince Fielder in 2007 when Fielder hit 50. And I wrote about how Gorman Thomas tied Reggie Jackson for the 1982 home run crown with 39 home runs. Reggie Jackson tied 3 different Brewers for home run crowns. I wrote about that in my book, which I think is good. He was with 3 different teams when he did it too. So he tied Boomer Scott, I think in 75, and Ben Ogilvy for the home run lead in 1980. Anyway, Ted Williams, also had 521 career home runs. But you got Bernie Williams, you got Billy Williams. We're gonna have some Williamses. So let's see. That might be actually number 1. Number 2, Matt Williams was number 3 there. Matt Williams had 378. Overall, the Williams name gets you to 2665. I'm gonna keep going with the 500 home run club for now. I think actually I'm just gonna sneak out a Jones. I'm gonna see if that's number 1. It's number 3, Chipper Andrew Adam. Okay. Um, but didn't want to lose steam. McCovey is the other. There's 3 players with all the same number of home runs there. Willie McCovey is the only McCovey. Ernie, let's get Banks. There's bound to be. Let's see if Willie Banks ever had a career home run. Brian Banks. He was a Brewer, right? Like 97-ish. I think Brian Banks was. I think he like hit a grand slam and was sent down. I think that's the player I'm remembering. I was 8, so cut me some slack. Let's get A Matthews. Spell Matthews right. Nelson Matthews is the other one. Sheffield is the only Sheffield. Gary Sheffield Jr. is very active on Twitter though. And yeah, I think we've hit the 500 home run club. I don't think there's any other Gehrigs or McGriffs. I think that's the next number down. We'll try it though. I mean, it's not going to hurt. Yeah, didn't think so. No one Winfield. Now, Canseco had a brother. Let's see how many home runs he had. Ozzie Canseco. How about the Giambi brothers? Okay, I'm seeing how this is going. So I'm only at 27 here, having gone through the 500 home run club, I think. I think having hit everyone there. So now I guess, I mean, I can keep going with people with over 400 home runs. I don't know that list as well. Um, yeah, the best strategy here. What have I got? 11 minutes here. I might actually, keep going. We'll see. We'll see how I do. Or I can just try to think of really common names. So there's a couple strategies. How about I'm thinking Morgan maybe? Nope, no on Morgan. Weren't enough Morgans. How about Foster? There's been a few. Nope. How about Gibson? Nope. Walker? Okay, Walker gets Larry, Neal, and Guy Walker. That's indicative of how this is gonna go. All right, so maybe my strategy is to just keep thinking of, let's see, most common name. Like Smith is a common name. Reggie leading the way there. Let's get Johnson. Bobby, Darren, and Howard. Cool. I'll probably beat Strawberry. Uh, yeah. How about Howard? Two, Ryan and Frank right there. That's a bunch of home runs. Elston Howard coming in at number 3. Let's see. I don't think Ripken. I don't. Well, let's see. I don't know how many home runs Billy Ripken hit, but it wasn't a lot. But Cal had over 400, so nope. How about a Clark? Yep. Jack, Will, and Tony. How about an Evans? There we go. Steven Evans, a very distant third. Darrell edges Dwight by 29 home runs, and then Steven has 32 by himself. All right. Let's see. I'm just trying to think. At this point, I'm not even thinking baseball. I'm trying to think of just common names. How about a Wilson? Hack, Preston, Craig. Cool. How about a Fox? Oh, I just skipped Jimmy Fox. Duh. That was silly. I wonder who else I'm bound to have skipped someone else then. Um, I don't know. I may come back to that. Dawson. Andre Dawson had like 430 or so career home runs, but no on him. Winfield, nope. Um, Delgado. I'm gonna say there's got to be other Delgados. No? Well, Carlos had 475. It's a fairly common name. Let's see. How about a Sanchez? Nope. Abreu. There've been a couple. Bobby, I think, came just short of 300. Jose has had a lot since he debuted, which is about 10 years ago now. So I think they've had a chance. Yeah, they're up over 500 combined. I may actually ride this all the way down. It'll be a longer video, which means we'll get less views, but I'm having fun. How about a Lou? Yeah, figured the 3 Alou brothers might do some damage there. Um, this is good suggestion, Eddie. This is a fun one. It's really making me think. It's challenging me. I'm trying to think, big home run hitters, but that only works for a certain amount. And then you have to start thinking, okay, what are some common names, mixing and matching, like Abreu, like I don't like Jose is a relatively new player. I mean, 10 years. But he's been hitting home runs for a little while. And Bobby had some pop, had some 30-30 seasons in there, I think. Um, but wasn't, a major power hitter, but put them together and obviously you're going to get over 500 runs. So you have to start thinking of players with 150, 200 home runs. And I don't have a list of them handy. I am going to try Cooper because there was Cecil and I think there was a Walker Cooper, Cecil Walker and Garrett Cooper. Okay. How about O'Neill? I'm just thinking I thought there would be more actually. Davis. Davis is number one. So you got Chili, Chris, and Eric. Chili, Chris, and Eric. It's not even counting Tommy or Willie Davis. Both played for the Dodgers in the 60s. So that's your number one name. Cool. I would not have predicted that as number one because your max is Chili with 350, but that means, and they're only showing the top three. But yeah, you've got to have several people with over 100 in order to get there. So very cool. Was Yeah, definitely not going to get that one without well, I did get it, but with a fair amount of thinking. Um, all right, I'm just gonna dance around team. Oh, Martinez, that's a good one because you got Tino and you got Edgar and JD. JD just edging Edgar. I didn't realize Edgar Martinez had over 300 career home runs. I think I did actually at one point know that, but I don't think of him as a 300 home run guy. Like he had 8 fewer home runs, or what is it, 10 fewer home runs than Prince and Cecil Fielder, who were big home run hitters. And now I'm remembering that the Fielders both had the same number of career home runs. It's silly that I didn't think of that right away. I would have just glossed over it. They also had the same number of career home runs as Vinny Castillo, who was a pretty big home run guy. Um, they do Wilson because Preston Wilson. Either I did and there was a lot or something, whatever. Um, all right. So I think I might be at the point where I'm just going to dance around some uh how should I approach this? I'm gonna throw Lynn in there because I don't know why I thought that would work. How about Rice? Yep. Few of those. Just a pretty common name, really. Jim is the only big one there. Um the Tories were a duo. How about the DiMaggios? That was a family, but I think Joe's the only one with a ton of home runs. Vince had over 100 though, and Dom had some, so it added up. Yeah, if you can think of, oh, okay, so let's think the Boones. Not big home run hitters, but there's several of them. So let's try them out. Uh, Brett, Ray, and Aaron, cool. And now let's try the Bells again. 3 generations, cool. Um, let's try Yastrzemski because Mike's been in the league a few years now, right? Yeah, so that one worked, and Carl had over 400. Um, so there's one family there that's got or family or just surname that has almost 2,000, and that's the top one I haven't gotten so far. And time is running a little bit short here. I have been rambling a little bit, and maybe that impeded my ability to get a high score, but I'm also trying to make it decent content. Nobody wants to watch a video of me just typing in names a bunch. So I'm gonna lock in here. Let's just try to let's think of teams. I just thought of Miller. Nope. Um how about Kent? Nope. Snow. Nope. I'm obviously in a Giants kick. I'm not gonna try really how about Hamilton? Nope. How about Henderson? That's gonna work. Henderson was somewhere. Yeah, down here. Um let's go Yankees. All right. 90s. You got what about Berra? I know his son played. Not very long though. Let's see. Posada, Girardi, Martinez. Did the Giambies work? Nope. I think I tried that one already. Cano? Is that a common name? Soriano. Nope. Don't think Jeter's gonna do anything for me. Brochus probably not. Strawberry, no. Rains, no. Sun barely played, but played, which is more than most of us can say. Um, how about Matsui? There've been a couple, but um, all right. Red Sox dancing around the horn a little bit, just internally. If Jose Valentin and John Valentin, the difference is Jose had an E at the end of his name. Oh, Gonzalez. That's got to be a pretty common one. All right, that's up there. Um, Juan, Luis, and Adrian. That took me too long to come up with. Honestly, I came up because I bounced down to the Blue Jays, and I was thinking Alex Gonzalez. I remember there was two of the Alex Gonzalez's. Neither of them were big home run hitters, but the rest of those guys were. So let's see. How about Sean Green and others? Cool. Um, nope. Let's go to the Braves. I already did the Joneses. No Klesko's. Or did Martinez. Jordan maybe. Probably not Lemke. Not Lopez. Yeah, that was a good one. Um, wasn't anyone else named McGriff. We're running out of time. Oh well. What a right. That was a interesting guess though. Sanders. All right. So yeah, some other names. Murphy, I definitely should have gotten. Young, highest one, 191, but very common name. Cruz, I should have realized both Jose Cruzes. Families, that's a good theme to be on. Perez, Cabrera. Oh, I didn't get Miguel Cabrera, even though I was doing 500s and there was going to be others. So I really should have gotten Cabrera. I just skipped him when I was running through the 500s. Lee, Carlos, and Derek should have gotten that. Carter, yep. Guerrero, that's again a family I should have remembered. Um, yeah, Thompson, no individual with a ton, but several players. Vaughn, I definitely should have gotten. Bo and Greg were cousins, I want to say, maybe something like that. Simmons, Al is one of my favorite players from Immaculate Grid, and Ted comes in there too. Bryce and Tommy Harper was not an association I was going to make. I missed Eddie Murray when I was going through the 500 home run guys. Reynolds, sure. Encarnacion, that makes sense. I should have, because I have mixed up Edwin and Juan while playing Immaculate Grid. Maybe not on the video, but I've definitely done it. Parishes, I should have thought of. Allen's, I'm not going to beat myself up too much for forgetting that. Ward, I was definitely never going to get. Crawford, I don't think I was ever going to get. Because Brandon is the highest one there. Oliver is a surprising one, but you've got Al at 219 and then some others. Huh. All right. Well, if I'd had maybe another few minutes or hadn't been rambling while playing, I might have gotten I should have gotten the other 500 home run guys. I should have gotten Cabrera. I should have gotten Murray. I probably should have come up with Encarnacion because it's burned me before. I don't actually feel bad about not getting Young since Michael was not a home run hitter, and um, that was the Young I would think of. Um, and then yeah, the Lees I should have gotten because both Travis or excuse me, both Carlos and Derek hit over 300, and Guerrero was a family. Carter, I was not gonna like fuse Joe and Gary Carter because Gary Carter was a catcher and Joe Carter was a big RBI outfielder slash first baseman. So they were so different as players that I don't think I was gonna like make they're obviously not related, so I wasn't gonna make that association. Um Bonds I should have gotten. All right. Well, this was a fun one. Eddie, thanks for the suggestion. Keep them coming. I'm gonna post this. I don't know how I don't think it's gonna do great with the metrics just because it's 20 minutes plus. And I don't know if it made for great content, but I'll upload it regardless. And thanks again for playing. I'll play some Immaculate Grid here, so you'll see my Green Bay Packers Titletown shirt as I transition over to just watching football. And nah, that's not true. I'll watch the playoffs, but as I transition into more of a football mode, um, and yeah, we'll be back at these. Keep them coming. I love the suggestions. Peace.